The other day I was having a very relaxing breakfast in a cafe and the dish I got was so stunning, I'm going to try and replicate it for you. It was hummus with poached eggs and a sumac and chili butter. I know, sounds fancy, but it's actually quite easy to put together. So into a pot, I'm going to add some salted butter. You'll need about 100 grams of this for 2 people, so lots of butter, but think of this as a weekend breakfast treat. So we'll just cut a wedge of butter off and then straight into the pot. We'll turn that onto a medium heat and now we can add our flavourings to this. So some garlic. I don't want big chunks of garlic, I just want the garlic to infuse that butter. So I'll just bruise that and then that can go straight in. We can take it out later on when we plate up. And then some sumac. Now sumac is actually a berry. It has a beautiful citrus, almost tomato-like flavour. It's fantastic with Middle Eastern food. So I'm going to add a good amount of that into my butter. And I want that rich red colour, so that's why I'm going to be adding some chilli. Now this is Kashmiri chilli. If you can't find Kashmiri chilli, just use your classic chilli powder. And if you're worried about the heat, then I suggest using some smoked paprika, a wonderful addition with this too. So I'm going to go a little heavier on the Kashmiri chilli and we'll just swirl that around. We're toasting off those spices. Okay, that has melted, so let's turn that off and that can sit there and infuse while we poach our eggs. Now, poached eggs, it's one of those questions I get asked over and over again. How do you cook the perfect poached egg? Fresh eggs. The fresher the egg is, the easier it is to poach. We're going to crack that into a bowl and do it really carefully so we don't break that egg yolk. I've also got a pot of water. Be quite generous with your water, fill that up, and I've also added a good splash of white vinegar. Next, we're going to turn that from a rapid boil just down to a gentle simmer, and once that just slows down, we're going to just form a bit of a whirlpool. So that just means getting your spoon in there, twirling it around, and in the centre of the whirlpool, we're going to drop our egg. So it's fallen to the bottom there. You can see that egg white is wrapping around that yolk, and now you just leave it, let it sit there and let it poach. If you need a second egg, well, just give that about 30 seconds to set, and then we can go in with our second egg. So we'll crack it into the bowl. Okay. Again, make a little bit of a whirlpool and then in with our second egg. Fantastic. So I'm going to poach them for about 2 to 3 minutes. I like my egg yolk to be a little runny. I'm also going to toast off some pita bread on that char grill. All right, hot pita, I love those grill marks. Off the heat. We'll just leave that there for a moment and let's plate this up. So some hummus. I like this hummus because it's Australian made and it's super creamy and it's a fantastic base for a recipe just like this. So I'm going to add a generous dollop of hummus, 1 to 2 spoonfuls. Look how creamy that is. And just with the back of your spoon, as always, spread it out and make a little nest for our eggs. We'll pop our eggs on top. Look at these perfectly poached eggs. We're going to serve 2 eggs. See how when you feel the egg, it's got a little bit of softness there. That's what we're after for a perfect poached egg. Okay. Next, this glorious flavoured butter. It's melted nicely, it smells fantastic. And we're just going to drizzle that over the eggs and around. See that sumac, those little speckles, that's what we're after. I'm going to dress it with some fresh mint. Love the freshness of this. Just put a few little sprigs around, little internal ones. Now I'm being really fancy. And then the last thing is our hot pita. We'll cut that in half and into quarters. And we'll just pop that on the side. And that right there is a beautiful, simple breakfast of poached eggs with spiced butter and hummus.